Madison Butine, thanks so much for jumping on the Conscious Cowboys podcast this week with us. And
you're welcome. It was really hard to get here, so you're paying me.
Is it a long drive?
So it's worth it. Yeah,
I'm paying you a lot. I wish.
Same.
Actually, I don't wish I was paying you a lot.
Yeah, that would be fucking weird.
Well, I wish we were getting paid a lot. I don't think so.
Yeah. I thought you said. I thought you said something. I don't know. I thought you said that. I'm glad I'm not paying you enough, bitch.
Oh.
I was like, whoa,
no.
that was weird.
Whoa, a little aggressive.
I was like, this is just a joke. You don't have to be mean.
In regards to bitch, your video that we posted, or the video, I should say, the video we posted this past week of the last episode of sometimes when someone says babe, what they really seem to mean is bitch.
Yeah.
I had so many people be like, that's so true. Oh my God.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes when they say it, that's like actually the word I hear.
Yeah.
You got it, bitch. Thanks.
Thanks, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, guys, we are pulling ourselves out of the thick of things.
Yeah.
I'm like currently staring at moving boxes just out of the camera's
over
view.
yonder.
Yeah, and you know, it just seems like we've got one zillion things to do. However, this is very important to us, and this is the only time in our schedule we could sit down and do this.
That's right.
And so we're
done. Making it fucking happen because this is our dream.
Madison has never once wanted to give me a high five on the podcast, but today
it'll lighten the mood, right?
Yeah. This is also our last time recording in this space. Which
oh my gosh.
makes me sad.
It's a little sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about just like the overall mood and vibe right now? Because I feel like we're like really kind of, I don't know. I feel like we're doing a good job of keeping it calm, cool, and collected. But at the same time, we're feeling things, you know, like all this change is kind of a lot, but it's positive, but it's still change and it's still hard to navigate and it's still kind of overwhelming. But I have been trying to take the approach of like, don't get too emotional about it in any way, because I feel like that's going to slow me down. And right now I need to just stay focused and get things done. But that is kind of my
MO.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Sometimes I don't know if that's good or healthy. Like, does that mean I'm not processing things? I don't know.
I mean, I don't think that there's a
right or a wrong.
Yeah, I don't think that. And then maybe, I don't know. It's really interesting because I am not that way. I feel like I'm more emotional.
Yes. But for me, if I even go onto the emotional side of this whole thing, I think that's going to be too consuming energetically and like in physical time too. Like I don't have time to sit down and think about things and like ponder and get sad. Like I actually just have like tasks I need to accomplish right now.
Yes. Yeah, I understand that. I don't think obviously one is right or wrong, but I'm just thinking about like I am both in a way. Like I can be emotional about it, but then I also am like, I know I have to do this. But I bring the emotion with me.
Yes.
You know?
Well, and you also teach me that like maybe I should be a little more emotional about these things. I don't know.
Because it's never like comes a time that it's like negative for you where it's like, oh man, I didn't like mourn that when it was like now a month later I feel horrible. Like that doesn't really happen to you. So then I feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
I think. I don't really know, but we'll figure it out, won't we?
Yeah, and we were talking about this. We brought this up because before we sat down here, Tess was like, oh my God, this is our last time in this space. And I was like, that's kind of sad. And then she was like, yeah, but we're happy we're moving. And I was like, yeah, of course we're happy. But then it's also like sad because we'll never be here ever again. Like at this age, living in this apartment, in this place.
Both realities exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. So there is like a sadness that comes with it because you're like, dang, okay, I need to cherish this last week here, this last recording session.
So let's make this one great. Huh?
Yeah, we're gonna fucking wing it.
What were we even gonna talk about this week?
Yeah, exactly. We were like, all right, we got it. We obviously want to show up for everyone, and it's like fun to have something to look forward to every week. You know, like hopefully you look forward to us just chatting.
Yeah, I've like kind of ebbed and flowed with podcasts throughout the past few years, like sometimes I'm really into it and sometimes I can't even listen
Yeah,
to
same.
a
Sometimes I'm
podcast.
like, I'm annoyed with their voice. I gotta go.
Yeah. And hey, that probably happens with us for you, and that's
That's
okay.
fine.
But right now I'm like loving podcasts. I think it's because I'm
Me
driving a
too.
lot.
Yeah, and then I also sometimes, and we've talked about this before, is that our job is like we're Pilates instructors, so there's music playing all the time. So when I get in my car, I'm just like, I can't listen to the same shit that I was just listening to. Like I was vibing in there. Now I'm not vibing. I need to learn something or hear some voice, someone else's voice. Yeah.
So I feel like that is a great segue
Okay.
because something we wanted to touch on is how we like kind of want to go back to our roots. Anytime life gets chaotic, I feel like it's important to check in and go back to the simple things that make you, or I should say that help you feel like yourself and feel good.
Right.
So Madison was like, hey, just start to think about the things that are like wellness practices or things that you go back to that you love.
Yeah, that like you genuinely make you feel good, regardless of what they look like.
Yeah. And then we were talking about how right now maybe it feels like we're not doing a good job at utilizing those tools.
Yeah, I was telling Tess, I was like, I feel sometimes like I'm a fraud saying it on here because I could be doing better.
Yeah, but like,
But I'm doing the best I can, for fuck's sake.
yeah.
You know?
And maybe the level that you're at right now doesn't seem like it's a big deal to you. Maybe someone else really looks up to the ways that you take care of yourself right now and they need to hear it. Or maybe it's just a good reminder for us all. So like some quick things that we want to reintroduce into our lives or that we're doing right now to help us feel like ourselves and normal.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you
Got
want to go?
anything? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we've said this a million times. Being outside in nature, whether it's a walk or a hike, I feel like right when spring hits, I hike at least 3 times a week. Like I need to find hikes when we move to San Diego, you know? But I love like being outside. I feel like also it goes beyond just like the sunlight hitting your body because that feels so fucking good. Like if you're in a bad mood, go outside for a second and just breathe fresh air if you can. It lifts my mood immediately. And I also feel like I like being in nature because it's like very symbolic of like what's happening in my life. Like I can always look at like a tree that was like maybe dormant in winter and then I see leaves and I'm like, see, like even after a dark winter, like it gets better. And then I immediately feel better and the wind blows and like hits my skin and I'm like, what am I even worried about? Like none of this shit matters.
Yeah. That is the one takeaway for me always is like changing my environment. Whenever I don't feel like myself, if I can go outside, like 85 to 90% of the time it works.
Yeah. It truly
At
does.
least just kind of reset me, right? And help me get out of my own way. And then I can think clearer.
Right.
I think another thing we can add to this is just surrounding yourself with your people. And something I can touch on here is life has been really full lately. I don't want to use the word busy because like, no, it's just really full. There's a lot going on in every category and that's exciting and I'm happy about that. But if I push and I stick to just my tasks, I kind of lose touch with the enjoyment and my people. And so even though life has been really hectic and full, I have carved out time to see my people, whether it's my family or my friends, just like my loved ones in general. And that has helped ground me. And so, for example, this week, like I was working remote, we have to pack up our house, we have to podcast, like there's all these things, right? But yesterday I took probably 3/4 of my day and I went down and I spent the day with 2 of my girlfriends who were in town. And I'm like, okay, that on paper was like a huge chunk of time that I lost getting my life together. However, that is equally as important to me right now as packing my belongings up in boxes. Like
totally.
I need to take a moment of pause and go see my friends and take a deep breath. So the balance of those two, like the nature element and then me seeing my loved ones is what's helping me stay consistently like, you're okay. You're fine.
Yeah.
Keep going. You're going to nail it. It's all good.
Yeah. And adding to like seeing your loved ones or just your support system, I feel like it just, which we said this is like, it reminds you of who you are. Like, it reminds me of like why I'm doing all of this, you know? Like, I'm just like, I not only want to like make them proud, but just like have a great life so that like I can include them in on it. Be like, yeah, we're moving to this cool place. Like, please come and visit. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Like, what other wellness practices am I doing? I
mean, honestly, that seems like it's it right now.
Yeah, true. But then it's like our lifestyle is quote unquote wellness, you know? So then it's like, all right, let's pull some things out right now. Okay, I can say is that I like, okay, we can say one is that I've definitely, which we're pretty good at this in general, but I've been better at cooking for myself. I've been doing a really good job at that, and I'm proud of myself for that. Like, even like cooking breakfast sometimes, or I'll like make a breakfast versus like having just Go Macro and coffee. Like, I haven't had coffee in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
I know.
Good job.
Because I'm like, I feel I know myself well enough to know that coffee will not serve me right now, because it will just, anxiety will start right from the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
So that's a no.
Good.
So yeah, that feels good. So I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an area I feel like I'm lacking in right now. So when you said that, I was like, oh God. Like,
which is like good to see that like we're not echo chamber.
Yeah.
So.
Triggered.
Yeah. We're different, okay?
Yeah. We don't do everything the same.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I've been on the road for quite a while now, and I haven't been home.
Yeah, she's been touring a lot recently.
Yeah, I'm just like on a world tour. I'm so cool. Fuck off. No, I genuinely have been away.
Yeah, that's true.
I haven't fucking been here, and my schedule isn't consistent enough to where I feel like I'm actually, I don't know, like I'm not making time to like cook food. Like, I'm eating the same bullshit meals every day.
Yeah,
I get into these
isn't
funks.
That just the worst?
Just like how many times can a girl eat a breakfast sandwich in a week? Like, I do it every day. Enough with the Trader Joe's chicken sausage.
Yeah. You know what? Trader Joe's chicken sausage once in a while. Like, I'll buy like a pack and have it for the week, you know? But like every single day, absolutely not.
Not every single day, but like, guys, I'm doing these meals on repeat. I'm hardly adding any variety to my diet, and I know I'm doing my body a disservice.
Right.
So,
but then it's also, this is just this time period. We're
correct.
like one-upping each other with things. So I'm like, no, wait, I'm talking.
Yes. I want to say this. Y'all are going to hold me accountable. When we move and I get into a routine, my mornings will be a little more free. I'm going to start like making food and like prepping enough food to last me through the day for lunch and dinner. Like, I'm going to have my shit together in the food realm so that I once and for all can say like, yeah, okay, I'm taking care of myself in that way.
Yeah. And then you just feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also like blood sugar stabilization. Like, there's so many times throughout the day where I'm starving and I like don't have food ready to go, but my schedule is jam packed and I'm making it that way.
Right.
And then I'm like, I don't feel like myself and my thoughts are all clouded because I haven't had a proper fucking meal. Whose fault is that? Mine.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, when we move, which is next week, we're doing this. Actually, this week, if you're listening to this when it comes out. Yeah.
We're moving this Saturday, technically on the 29th. So wish us luck on that day. Keep us in your thoughts. It'll be great.
It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
We're fortunate to have a lot of help.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any other wellnessy things?
Okay. So let's see here.
We don't have to scrape the barrel.
Yeah, I know. Well, because I was just like thinking of this idea originally because I heard it elsewhere on someone else's podcast. And I was like, oh, that'd be good to like check in again. And I was just thinking like, we're pretty good nowadays at not comparing our wellness routine with others. Yeah. Like, we more so get ideas from others. Like, I am definitely, and no hate on this at all, but I am not one to drink like a spicy green juice every day. And I tried that on for so long. And I was like, honestly, this gives me a stomach ache. And I fucking hate every sip. So We're not doing that
You
anymore.
genuinely don't like the taste?
I do not like it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so that's just not for me. Like, it literally, like, this is so dramatic, but like when it goes down my esophagus, I feel ill. Like, it feels like I am doing a disservice.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it's not for you. Good.
That's right.
Good on you, though, for recognizing, like, hey, this isn't, even though this is in society considered to be really good and cool for you, not for me.
yeah. And then I also question, like, I also think in my head, which, I do this all the time, is like, who said that's good for me?
Yeah.
You know? Like, all of these wellnessy trends, like, how do you know that that's good for everyone? Like, how can we generalize that?
You can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like someone recently was doing a whole like diet protocol and they were trying to encourage other people to do it with them. And someone was like, what? Like everything you're recommending us to eat, I'm allergic to. Because they were like, yeah, come on, do it with me. And the girl was like,
she's like, I actually can't.
No.
Right.
I'm allergic to more than half the shit you're suggesting I eat that you're considering to be healthy.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. One size does not fit all.
Right. And then I just like even go deeper in like the whole like marketing system and just like there's just so much bullshit. So really check your sources, check other people's sources, use your body as an experiment and see if that works for you. And if it doesn't, don't feel bad about it.
Okay. I feel like that's it for wellness.
Okay, great.
Because like we're doing the best we can.
Right.
I think also, okay, one last thing I can throw in here is just like communication.
Oh, yeah.
Like just being open with what your thoughts are and where you're at and being open to changing that too. Like don't get stuck in ruts. Like be open to like voicing and airing out what you've got going on in your head and then let those moods go. Like I feel like there has been times in the past where I've harbored those emotions and I've like become this little dark cloud that like just walks around like, stop, you know? Like I have to check myself and go, what are you doing? Are you feeling good? Like the point of this all is to like enjoy your life.
Right.
So pause if you need to, talk it out with someone you love and trust, and then let's like move on. But that's my MO again. I try to like not stay in emotions for too long. Like I just want to keep going.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I feel like eventually I get to that point, but I always have to like mull it over in my head because there's a lot of things I think about and I'm like, this isn't even worth mentioning. Like, does this person care that I'm airing this out? You know?
But that's your MO because you always think that like
up.
Madison will be like, she's like the more quiet and reserved one, right? In a room of people, she's not the first to offer up personal information. Not that she's shy or doesn't want to share it with you.
I just sometimes don't. I mean, sometimes I genuinely just don't.
You just
wanna
overthink
share.
it.
Or it's like, I don't think it's like an important thing to say. So
Which I
just
understand that, but I don't know. Anyways, okay.
But yeah, so sometimes I'm like, have to think about it and I'm like, all right, well, I'll say it. Like if someone asks me, then I'll be like, okay, well, this is what I'm thinking about. And then, yeah.
That's a fun dynamic between Madison and I, in case you were wondering what it's like at home. Because clearly I am the sharer. Like I come home and I'm like, hey, Madison. And I give her a whole rundown of nearly every detail of my day.
Yeah, true.
And then she's not the first to like give it right back to me. So then I'm like, so how was your day? I have to ask.
Yeah, that's true.
And then when provoked, she'll give it.
Yeah, true. We just process things different. I'm like more inward and then you're outwardly.
Definitely outward. Yeah. Yes.
And it works because imagine if we were like both the same, it'd probably be fucked up.
It'd be either really loud in the house or really quiet.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like an even trade-off.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's still good between us. Even in the midst of all of this change, I think we do a really good job of just coming back home to each other. So I am proud of that dynamic.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I just thought about that mean comment. Always. Anytime I say I'm proud of us. Yeah.
Echo chamber. Yeah.
Just like talking about how great they are. I'm like, yeah.
You know what?
I'm done mentioning that.
Yeah,
comment.
it's fine. Honestly, I'm not done forever mentioning it.
But for right now.
For right the second, absolutely. Yeah. I also feel like for some reason, like I have to lean forward today.
Yeah, I do too. I keep fidgeting. I'm pretty uncomfortable, even though I'm in the world's comfiest clothes. Like I'm in all cotton, but I don't know. I just like, it's a nice day.
Like,
I just want to get out.
Yeah, me too. And this is our reward after the podcast is to go outside. That's how much we like it.
But we do love being here with you. Don't get it
we
twisted.
do. That's why we fucking did this today. We're like, all right, we have a lot of stuff happening. We need to sit down. Yeah. Well, I feel like,
That's it?
yeah, right? Do we have anything else we want to talk about that's on our mind?
There's one other thing that I could like briefly touch on.
Okay, let's go.
And it's a thought I had yesterday because I was in a situation where I thought, wow, the universe, or whatever you want to refer to it as, has a sense of humor. Like this shit is funny, you know? And obviously it's all based on perspective, but I can't help but think sometimes like, I don't want to call this a test, but like this is funny. Like, let's see how I am in this situation. And what I mean by that is like, this keeps happening where I am put in situations with people that things are maybe like not great between myself and them. And then like, it's just the most random place, the most random time. And I'm like, wow, here we are together, aren't we? And this run-in that I had made me think of my nature, of how I am a people pleaser. I recently saw like a little infographic on Instagram that was like qualities of a people pleaser. And it was like,
all me.
I truly hit every single box except anxiety was one of them. And I don't know how much of that I embody. Maybe some, right? But like, I don't think that that's a trait. Like I wouldn't describe myself as like an anxious person most often, but it was like always asking what the other person wants and like bending over backward, like just all those things. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what the little words were, but this run-in made me think of my nature and how historically I am a people pleaser because I really tried hard with this person. Like I went totally out of my way to make things between us really smooth, really even keel, and just like, oh God, let me try everything in my power to have this person like me. And it didn't work. And there were things that were out of my control where I was like, you know what? I got to let this go. And so when I saw that person yesterday, after all this stuff went down, I was thinking old me maybe would have like put on a happy face and said hi and like gone with this. But now me, current me is like, why would I pretend? Like I am who I am. They are who they are. It doesn't work between us. That's okay. I don't have to say hi. I don't have to smile and wave. Like I can just be like, all right, there they are, and move on with my day and not overthink it and not get hung up on what didn't work between us in the past. Like it is what it is. And I just wanted to say, if you are like me and you historically bend over backwards and it just still doesn't work with some people, don't be hard on yourself. And like release any worry that this person doesn't like you. Like not everybody needs to like you. And I know we all hear that, but really how much of my life changes if this one person doesn't think too highly of me.
Right. Yeah. And in the end, even if like a few weeks go by, you always get over it, you know? Because I even think about, and this has been coming up a lot recently, is the gym that I interviewed for, where we did the episode with rejection, all that bullshit. And that has been brought to my attention multiple times over the last month. Like this name of the gym. Yeah. Like so-and-so's working here, or I go here, or whatever. And then every time like someone would say it, like when it first started happening, I was like, ugh, like, you know, there's like still a soft spot because of that. And then the more that people bring it up, I just like have released it completely. Cause I'm like, this doesn't matter.
There's exposure to it, right? I don't know.
I don't know if,
or processing every time you get exposed to it, you process it a little more. And you
and there's just like no
peace.
attachment to that anymore. Especially if like that person or entity, whatever we're talking about, like doesn't vibe with you, then it's like, all right, I release that and it's fine. Like it is what it is, like you said.
Yeah. But I think that we all in general, I'm speaking about myself and maybe you relate to this too, Madison, and everybody listening, but I place value on being liked. Like I want to be liked by people naturally, right? Don't you? Don't we all?
Yeah.
And so when someone doesn't like you and you've tried really hard, I mean, really, like, what's the point? Like, just let it go.
Yeah.
They're not going to like you, and it's okay.
Yeah. And that's also like goes for a lot of things. Like, why force things? Because it just doesn't feel good for anyone.
Yeah. And I always have this thought, maybe because we're trying to build this brand up and we want this to be inclusive of everybody. We want everyone to be a part of it. And it always kind of burns a little bit when I feel like, we don't have that with this person. Like we might, become a huge community someday, right? And then there's going to be that person who I had a history with that's
like,
not going to support
Tess is
it.
a bitch.
Yeah, and they're going to say some shit.
Dude.
However, welcome to the fucking world, Tess.
Right.
Not you might have haters. I don't even like to use the word haters, but like truly haters who have never met you and they're still going to talk some shit about you.
Right.
They're going to talk some shit on your Instagram. They're going to comment.
Right.
So
we were even talking about this today I don't know if you guys have seen it recently too, but Tess and I both saw it probably the same day, is that Drake thing. And it was like, oh, Drake thought we'd forget about this. And it was his commercial for Apple or something. And he's like singing Taylor Swift's Bad Blood. And he's like literally dancing to it in his gym. And then we were just thinking, we're like, well, he probably got paid fat for that. And then also people are going to hate him whether or not he's the coolest fucking guy in the world or he does some shit like that. Like they're going to hate on him. So whatever.
Well, and also the point I brought up was like, whether he's enjoying himself and having fun and having a good laugh over filming this like dorky commercial, or he's taking himself super seriously and he's putting on the cool guy act, people are going to talk shit. So you might as well get out there and just do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
So that's my little TED talk for the day of like, you know what? You win some, you lose some, right, kids? You win some, you lose some.
And also not to dwell on it too much if you do lose it.
Yeah,
Lose
or
some,
take it
that's
too
fine.
personally. Like, again, I think just some people don't vibe, and that's okay.
Right, because how could you expect to get along with everyone?
Well, because I sometimes can be like, "Aw," and I can morph into someone in my own ways, not change my personality, but I can accommodate you to the point where you're so taken care of that you're not bothered by my presence. Not that I change who I am, but maybe I'd filter myself, or I would just like stay further away from you and kind of be in the shadows in your life. And so you wouldn't be rubbed the wrong way by me.
Right. Or so you think.
Or so I think. Even though I did that, it's still, they still don't like
disappointing. And you're like, what the fuck? And then we're just kind of like, all right, screw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
So that's that. That was just a thought I had because the interaction yesterday was like, what the fuck's happening? And then I started thinking about like the backstory of it all and how it makes me feel. And then I was like, you know what? We're going to talk about this really quick and then I'm going to let it go.
Yeah. It's good to mention it because I don't know. I think that a lot of people are always like, I don't give a fuck if everyone likes or if people don't like me. Like, I don't care. I'm like, do you really not care? We care.
Of course we care.
Yeah.
But
and
I
that's
think
okay.
you can't care. You can't overly care about it. You can't care to the point where it's holding you back. You need to keep going.
And also I can't care enough to the point where it's going to make me change myself for other people. That is just not worth it.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's some compromise that happens, but I'm not going to completely change my personality for that one person.
Right.
So
no one needs you to.
Yeah.
Okay,
true.
Guys. That's it for this week. Yeah, Mads?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we did it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a deep breath.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We love you. We are in the thick of it. So please be thinking of us, sending us good energy, and just hope for a smooth transition for us. And if you're going through similar stuff, right back at you.
Yeah, we're with you. And we're excited to be back next week or in 2 weeks. Whatever. This will come out next week. So the following week, we'll have moved and we'll give a debrief on everything. And
yeah. And before we go, guys, please, if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube or wherever you're listening to the show. Rate the podcast.
Comment, like literally do anything for engagement purposes.
And I just want to make a note that while we would love for this to become our full-time gig someday, and that's part of the reason why we ask you to do this, I also think that the only reason I've been able to find my favorite podcasts and my favorite people out in the world is because there's been enough of a backing behind them to where they show up on my algorithm and they get
Right.
pushed to me. So that's why we say it of like, maybe if it's your favorite podcast or one of your favorite podcasts and so in Illinois has never heard it before, you liking, commenting, sending it to a friend, whatever, boosts the ratings, does all of it, and then they can find us. Because how are they supposed to find us if you all don't talk about it?
That's right. That's right.
You know, we're not paying for marketing in any way, shape, or form. So
Yeah.
it's all word of mouth. It's grassroots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, damn, dude, building it from the ground up.
That's right.
That is real shit.
And that way we can be super proud of it, you know?
Yeah, which we are.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. All
well,
right.
love you guys.
Yeah.
Talk soon.
Talk soon.